Hold on. Wait. Okay, sorry. I was watching to see if the YouTube stream actually worked this time. It does. It does work this time. Thank God.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the live finale of Big Brother Blue Moon. In just the next hour, we will crown our 6th winner of the series.
And I guess they 6th winner of the season.
The season. We've crowned 6 winners this season. But yeah, we are now here at the absolute final leg of this season. We have a fun night ahead. This is my favorite night to host. Sometimes if the season's really bad, but it's also just fun because I get to actually discuss the season.
I was going to say, like, are you just happy to get rid of them or something like that? Is that why it's your favorite night?
No, I mean, I've teased the house guests all season about how much I hated them and stuff, but this has been a fairly decent season. I'm like, I fucking hate all of you.
Don't they know that?
But this has been a pretty good season overall. I think in terms of like what I said yesterday, I swear there's like 1,000 fruit flies in my room all the time. Like I said last night, like this season provided a whole bunch of really good, huge characters into the series.
You really said personality.
Yeah, you know, I think that's what makes a good season. You know, what you got is a one-of-a-kind situation where we had literally so many of these big people wanting to outclass in terms of what they showed, and it was a good season. I mean, our final 2 is 2 evicted house guests. It's interesting to say the least. But, you know, this is definitely a really fun season. I'm kind of sad that it's over, but I'm really excited because
it's not over just yet.
We got just a little bit of time. And then we are going straight into Big Brother Equinox, literally in a week from just about today. A little over a week, we'll start next season. So
week from tomorrow.
Craziness. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, I already asked you this a little bit yesterday, but like, what are your more in-depth thoughts of this season now that the votes are locked for the jurors and everything?
Awards are locked and all that.
And awards are locked as well.
I mean, I agree with myself yesterday. Definitely chaotic, crazy, quite a few personalities, and those fights. Oh my god. Well, I don't know if I call them fights, but like arguments, fights. I don't know which one is like more accurate. One of those two, the disagreements, so to speak, throughout the house this season, definitely provided for ratings. I'll say that much. If anyone kept up with the season, they'll know how crazy people have gotten since the season started, since even the series started, and how much the personalities have progressed. Since I think back to season 1, where like sometimes half the cast would just not be there, or at least like in final 3, whereas Lucas and then no one else, because Kayla was pregnant and Chloe was just nowhere to be found. So
literally,
like, and then I think to now where it's like there was almost never a night where there was anything like that. Like there was always at least like 4 people active at a time, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think at least from what I've been seeing within the past few seasons, is that a lot of the house guests now are just very passionate and active, and they really take the experience seriously. You know, yeah. I mean, you look back at like Big Bang and Eclipse, where again we were a smaller series, very, you know, on Big Bang we had literally like 100 viewers.
The infancy
of the series, and it was just kind of like a fun experience. Nowadays we have people that are like playing to really win and show what they've got. And I think that's what makes a really fun time for the house guests, because there's never really a dull moment. I mean, it's stressful, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it allows for a very, not diverse, but like
dynamic
season overall. But yeah, I think we had really, really strong individualized players this season. Like I said yesterday, like any of them, I would kind of pluck out and be more than glad to bring them onto another season, just because I think a lot of them have so much to show just beyond what they did in this season. And that's what makes a really great season. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the season. We're, you know, at final 2. I don't know what else to talk about in regards to it, to be honest.
This is the first time where the entire cast has been evicted at least once, which we've never had before, which like, I've never seen that ever. Like I've seen it where like all but one person was evicted because like someone came back. But I've never seen it where every single person has been evicted one way or another.
Right. So,
and the final 2 being 2 people that were voted out. It's like, what are the odds of that happening? Someone voted out twice, like we did in Eclipse. This is just all 18 people were evicted, or in one case, not quite evicted from the house. But like still 18 people leaving like basically on the brink of leaving the house or leaving the house entirely at some point or another, which
crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I needed to send the link out to the final.
Yeah, that would be smart. We should have done that before.
It would have been important. They have it now,
Yes.
so if they want to join, now they can join. But yeah, let's talk in depth about Equinox, although not too in depth. We'll be very generalized. I'm going to talk a little bit about the twist, though not all
Don't do
of
too
it.
much, though.
No. Just kind of the general basis of what I wanted next season to be all about. But yeah, Equinox. It is the 8th season. It is, we got one of our finalists here. They'll remain backstage for now. So yeah, Equinox, was again planned way back in the day in terms of what we wanted it to be in terms of format, in terms of like what we had a vision for it. And when it came down to it, like I thought of the concept of Equinox, although I thought Equinox was summer and winter. Turns out it's not. It's spring and fall.
Those are solstices, which I mean, if we need an idea for another season, we could say solstice, but like I feel like Equinox already is like we don't need another one. And I want to say this is the one season that we've had planned for a while that I didn't have an old logo for because we never made one until the reboot.
Yeah. So, I mean, by the time Equinox was planned and I had thought it through, I just thought Equinox had a better ring to it than Solstice. I think Big Brother Equinox sounded better than Solstice, so I just stuck with Equinox. I'm like, but we'll still make it.
Planned.
Yeah, and so going off of Equinox, I mean, the main picture twist concept of Equinox is kind of catering to certain types of play styles. If you play a very flashy game, you get rewarded. If you want to play more chill, you get rewarded. So it's like whatever, path you want to take in terms of how you like to play the game. There's no set of rules of how you play Big Brother.
There's no wrong answer, essentially.
Right. But, it's like how you choose to kind of venture within the game is completely up to you. It's all up to how you like to play. And so, but either way, you get rewarded. And so, I think it'll create, when there's incentive to play certain types of ways, there will be certain things that happen within the game. Will you play chill one week? Will you play flashy another week? It's all up to like how you want to do pretty much. And so that was the main thing for Equinox was kind of, we've had a lot of twists that have been, very overall, like very, I don't know if that makes sense, but like this is like one that like focuses really in on houseguest play style. Yeah, it's very play style oriented. So
it's
like
kind of like Eclipse in that way almost.
A little bit. So whereas Eclipse they got catered to like who their personalities were and how they play heroes and villains. This is more of like, a more in-depth version of your game besides playing like a hero or a villain. It's like what types of moves do you like? What kind of player do you like to be? And
it's not a surface.
Yeah, it's not a surface level as Eclipse because with this season, it's just more dynamic. And so it'll be interesting. I mean, they were doing a lot of new things next season, which is really fun for me.
The graphics budget really went up.
Graphics budget, that's, again, like I said, that's where all my time and energy went to. That's it.
The mimosas.
Mimosas and graphics. That is next season's big theme.
Yeah.
Sorry, Blue Moon. Hey, Blue Moon got a really fun experience in terms of competitions. And
as well as 3 crackers at a Capri Sun.
Well, yeah, the poor jerk, at least they got fun comps in the game.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I am really excited for Equinox. I mean, I'm excited that it starts in a week, so I don't have to wait for this little baby of mine to be born. It's going in and out. Although it's been pretty much in the oven since season 2. But
yeah, and then you also say that you want to take a break, and yet the break is a month that is all planning.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really take a break. I mean, my breaks literally consist of planning, and I'm like, because I'll like take a 3-day break, and I'll be like, I'm so bored. What do I do with myself?
And so then I'll go back into it. Let's do it.
I'd be like, let me play it. Like that's what happened during I want to say Supernova a little bit, and then
like Supernova to Blast Off.
Yeah, and then Blast Off. After Blast Off was doing well, I was just like, well, and so I created the graphics for season 5, 6, 7. An 8, or at least like the demo,
the basis, like the first draft.
Draft of graphics of like what I wanted the idea to be. I mean, I go back and redo the graphics as we get closer to the season because I only improve over time. I'm like,
we pretty much completely redid Equinox for sure.
Oh god, it looks so much better. Original Equinox logo ugly.
Much cleaner. Oh my god.
So yeah. So I mean, like I said, it'll be a really fun season. I'm excited. I mean, I always say I'm going to take a break after the season's over. I'm kind of holding myself to that standard after Equinox is over. I think I want to take a break,
but not too long of a break, because we're gonna be way too bored out of our minds if we don't.
Very true. I mean, we need a break. Don't get me wrong. But I love hosting. So
yeah, much less stressful than playing.
I mean, I take like a year break for playing. I mean, God bless these people that play nonstop in more than one game at a time. I'm like, holy, how do you do that? I remember
when I did that, I was just like, how did I not want to kill myself when I was playing like 4 games at once? Like, there was one game that I played that was 101 days long, and I was in jury for 38 of them. So it's like, how did I not want to just stab myself?
Absolutely not. I would cry.
I almost did. I did. Okay, enough about us.
Yeah, enough about us. I mean, we have 3 minutes left until we start doing the awards ceremony for the season, and then we'll follow it shortly after with the winner reveal of the season. Ooh, it's so exciting. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else there is to really talk about. I can talk about individualized casts. That's what I do sometimes.
Considering we never did a cast assessment this season, I feel like we should probably talk about the cast a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we never did for the 16 cycles or so.
Sorry. Yeah, I think this cast was good overall. I mean, was there any strategic, masterminds? No. But like everyone played like a very good overall game. They played a good game.
Not the good part. I meant the lack of strategic people. Like, were there masterminds? Yeah. No, but like were there at least some strategic players? Yes.
Yes, there were. And so, like I didn't see any like jaw dropping of moves this season.
Like no sometimes Nick or Desiree or Daly.
Yeah, there was no, people like the HOH being tethered out, high silver backstage. There was no game going into deadlock. There was no like Galaxy, because Galaxy had 1,000 things going on whenever, with all those powers.
But this being Caitlyn, just because. Yeah. Oh my god, guys, I'm yellow.
Yeah, but yeah. But yeah, still good season. I mean, I still love this cast to fucking death. Like, don't get me wrong. I love all of my little babies, unless you like really, really wrong me. I don't
93 maybe about like 85 of them out of the 93, give or take.
There are some bad eggs within my alumni, and that's totally okay.
That's why I say that. That's why I say that. Like after tonight, there will be 93 alumni that we've had over 7 seasons. I mean, there's bound to be a few bad eggs. So
what the heck? We're nearly at. I mean, once Equinox premieres, we will have our 100th house guest entering the Big Brother universe space. So
the question is, will it be at least or exactly 100?
Yeah, it'll be 100. Right?
Well, yeah. Whatever. Let's just move on.
You do like the cast reveal, the 7th house guest to be.
I know. I'm just
period.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Neither do I. Okay, without further ado, we're going to get going now. It is time for the award ceremony. Hannah and Brendan are backstage. I see them. Brendan's on camera. Hannah, I was about to call her Maddie. I'm looking at the YouTube chat.
Hi, Maddie.
Hi, Maddie. But then I'm going to start my little timer, and then once we come back, we will begin the award ceremony. Woo! Everyone get pumped up. I'll see you in about 30 seconds. I'm going to bring back our finalists, and we are ready to get the show on the road. Let's do it. Hi, besties. Hannah's not on camera. Girl, get on camera.
Hi.
There we go.
No,
Hey.
it's fun.
And then Brent driving. Girl, what is this?
That was crazy. I had to rush home for work. I don't think that works.
Well, you're here.
Anyway, it's a finale night. Whatever. Anyways, before we get going into awards, how are you two feeling? How are we feeling about the season? The season's pretty much over, and one of you will win here shortly. What are your thoughts?
That you didn't do a cast assessment, and I think we were all looking forward to that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's Nathan's fault. That's Nathan's fault.
Yeah.
I'm busy. It's hard.
So are we?
Sorry. No cast assessment.
Me over here.
But you got the memories and you've got the experience
Oh, yeah.
in your head forever.
I remember, I don't remember who it was, but someone was like, I'm so excited to watch all the cast assessments. They were so in depth. And I was like, OMG, what are those? And they like sent me the links to them.
I was like, guess what? You don't have them.
Wonder what happened to those.
You get none of that this season. Sorry. This season was weird. I was busy here and there. I just could not make time.
That's like the last.
No, I loved y'all.
Uh-huh.
Anyways. All right. So we are ready to get going with the awards ceremony. Everyone make some noise. Woo. My favorite part of the season. All right. So let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll do this thing. Boom. Bam. Ooh, awards. See?
Great.
So fun. Also, Ellie, did you update the thing I told you to update?
Yes, I did.
Thank God. Okay. Here we are. The Big Brother Blue Moon finale. Woo! Everyone make some noise. Okay.
But don't
It
scream.
is.
We don't want our eardrums blown out.
Here, let me remove this banner from here so you can actually look through. There we go. So much better.
So
All
Brandon
right.
will be blocked.
Let's do some awards, baby. All right. Welcome to the 6th annual Big Brother Universe Awards ceremony. Let us begin. I don't know. Seasonal? All right.
Yes.
So I'll be tackling this. This is the most robbed pre-juror. This season we had a lot of dynamic pre-jurors within this game. There was a lot of people that I felt could have done a lot more better than they actually did and then just did not show what they could do. However, I think there's one house guest that I was looking forward to a lot preseason that just unfortunately did not get to show what they really got within the season due to circumstance and just their own kind of connection with the house guests. I think they're a great, great player, although just due to circumstance, they weren't able to show what they could do. And they had one of the most memorable HOH reigns of the season. The most robbed pre-juror of Big Brother Blue Moon is Clyde.
Yes!
All right. Ellie, most robbed
All
juror.
right. Most robbed juror. So this one wasn't was one of the later ones that we decided. Since we wanted to wait until we got to the very end of the game, and this house guest showed quite a lot of promise at the very beginning of the game, before the game even started, throughout the entire game, and we were thinking that if they got to the end, they had a pretty good chance of taking it all, and like with their compatibility and their ability to just get what they wanted, that was just something that I would say was almost unparalleled this entire season. So without further ado, the Most Robbed Juror Award for Big Brother Blue Moon goes to Laura.
Laura, yes, most robbed juror. Yay. Oh, all right. There we go.
Hey, it's me.
Hi, Hannah. All right, biggest
Hi.
underdog is Hannah. Should really come to no surprise to literally anybody. I think Hannah, although being evicted, came back into the game and then literally, slayed until final 2. I've never seen an underdog story quite like it. No one has ever returned to the game and made it as far as Hannah. This girl was pre-juror, then juror, then came back into the game, and then was a finalist. She really experienced everything. She is this season's biggest underdog. Period. All right. Moving on.
One more click.
There we go.
There we go. All right, biggest snake. So this is someone that is quite the opposite of biggest underdog. So this person, I don't know if I would say made a lot of promises just to go back on them, but they definitely, I guess, for lack of a better word, snaked their allies. You'll see later on exactly what I mean with that. And I feel like a lot of people can see this one coming. The biggest snake for this season is Mikey.
Mikey, biggest snake.
Got that real slithery.
Slithery. Yes.
Slithery.
All right. Moving on to the biggest goat. This is not a fun award to get, although this is an award that we give out. So biggest goat is someone that, they make it decently far in the game. However, once we get further in the game, their chances of winning are very slim to none. It would be a very uphill battle for them in any sort of final two with the combination that they're in as they go further within the game. And there's one house guest that I think we all believe just did not have a good chance, but it would be a very difficult uphill battle for them to win this season. Unfortunately, the biggest goat of Big Brother Blue Moon has to go to Juju. Juju played a good game. However, comparing the notes of everyone that was remaining at least like final 8, their game just did not have the same sort of pizzazz as everyone else. So tears for Juju, but we love you anyways. Oh. All right.
Okay, well.
That's.
Oh wait, that's also.
That's incorrect.
I don't know why. Okay, well, fade in the correct one. Just click this one. Yeah. That'll sound offensive to Mo. I'm sorry. Okay, Most Untitled Chapter. It's Laura. Actually, Nathan, if you want to take this one because I was not there for the round table.
Okay, so I was there for the round table. And sorry, that's funny. I'm so sorry, Mikey. I didn't know that was gonna. We faded to Mikey to Laura or Mo. Okay, so Laura. So Laura, I was there for the round table, and honestly, we had a really, really good discussion within the round table last night. However, Laura was really moderating a lot of the conversation and really doing a nice balance of really representing both people's games. Although swaying it to certain sides, some jurors were making some statements and Laura was quick to shut it down and be like, here's what actually happened. Here are the facts. These are the receipts. This is it. And so Laura really, really was a driving force in really just kind of solidifying jury votes for, the finalists, really. It didn't really matter which way, although she did lean a certain way. There was a really good medium. It was like a nice little check and balance with her moderating. So most impactful juror is Laura for sure. All right.
Okay, here we go. That's better. Most entertaining. All right, so this one, we actually had a couple of picks at first, and then we had to dwindle down to one. So this house guest throughout the season had plenty of, I don't know, I guess quips is the right word, I guess. Had quite a few quips about each and every house guest, including themselves. And always at least made me laugh with some of their VLDRs and just some of the little things that they did in their diary room. I don't want to give too much away because it would then give away who it is before I want to. This is one person that from the start, I was really excited to see how they played. And it just, yes, it did come up a little short to what I expected. However, I still enjoyed watching them play. So without any further ado, I know I've said this like 5 times tonight already. The most entertaining house guest for Big Brother Blue Moon is AJ.
Yeah, AJ had some phenomenal VL satellites. They were literally like, I don't
dancing everywhere.
Did he do dancing videos like the juror video? Because I would not put it past him.
Yeah. But yeah, AJ most entertaining. So moving on. Most emotional. This is never a bad thing. Some people think it's horrible. Emotional means that you are very emotionally invested within the game and you have a lot of emotions while the game's going on. It's really one of my favorite traits of a house guest to have because it allows me to see like what's going through their head at all times of the day. This house guest had a lot of emotional moments within their DR, second guessing their game, what they're doing, their kind of stance, and just kind of their more personal side, which I love to see. But the most emotional house guest at Big Brother Blue Moon is Austin. Austin was very emotional within his DR. I loved watching it. I loved being there to support him through all of his emotional endeavors. But yeah, definitely most emotional went to Austin.
All right, most inactive. Now, this award, I would say this is one of my least favorite awards to give out, just because it sounds like an insult. Just because it's like it always goes to someone, or not always, but most of the time it goes to someone that like wasn't really there. Like, it went to someone who struck out in season 2. It went to someone who was pregnant in season 1. So it's like it could go in any direction when it comes to this award. Just like for whatever reason, they just weren't present. And this one happened to be because of a interestingly timed vacation. Without, I'm not going to say that again because I've said
without
it.
Further ado.
Nathan. Okay, the most inactive house guest of Big Brother Blue Moon is Kay.
Yeah, unfortunate circumstance, but they just weren't around for the couple weeks they were in the game. So
for the 6 days.
Wow. Yeah. All right, most dedicated. This is a fun, really good award to have. Most dedicated means that from day one until the day you're evicted or not, you are invested in the game, from strategy to socializing to competitions. Your everything is put into this game. This is a very hard award to give out because during most seasons, we do have a lot of people that are passionate and dedicated towards the season. However, there is one house guest that provided a new extra level of passion for the game this season. And with that being said, the most dedicated house guest of Big Brother Blue Moon is Hannah. Hannah, really, really gave her heart and soul to this game. She was very dedicated. Let's just say that. And so definitely most dedicated house guest for me this season was her.
Yeah, between codes and the jury battle back, that's just like, it was relatively easy to decide that one.
Yeah.
All right, best duo. So obviously this will go to 2 house guests. So this pair of house guests, they were together for, I want to say about 90% of the time that they were actually in the house together. About 90, does that sound about right?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. So they had a final 2 working from the very beginning of the game, and it could have come true, but it didn't. There are like some moves made like against each other, which obviously like that doesn't necessarily entail the best duo, but I mean this pair of house guests they were just the better duo over any other duo that we had seen this season. So Nathan, do you have something? No. Okay, the best Laura and Mikey.
Yeah, so they were connected from the very, very beginning of this game and really, really rode one another. They used one another very, very efficiently and strategically throughout almost the majority of the game. They made Final 4 together. Their dominance within the game from start to end of their games was really actually phenomenal to watch. Absolutely. So yeah, best duo, definitely going to them. Best
and on the
rivalry. On the flip side, sometimes we see rivalries between one house guest and another, or maybe one house guest and a group of others. This season, we had one house guest against the house. Very rarely does a house guest create so much rivalries in the game. But this season, for the very first time, the rivalry is within the house guest in the game itself. So the best rivalry that we had this season is going to Molly versus the house. It was, when Molly was in the game, she created Waves house down boots, period. And she got so many people just against her like that. So
this was my idea. My idea.
So yeah, Molly versus the house is this season's best rivalry.
We love you, you crazy queen.
I love Molly.
All right.
Okay, biggest betrayal. So this one, I would say like we didn't see many like striking betrayals in the season until like it got at least halfway through. So this one, I'm sure most of you wouldn't be surprised that it came about because of the power that was played from a code.
No.
And as the jurors have discussed many a time, I don't think I need any introduction with this one. The biggest betrayal of Big Brother Blue Moon is Mikey using the Platinum Power veto to evict Joshy over Brendan at the first Final 8.
Yeah. Betrayal. Escandala. Yeah, that's the biggest betrayal of the season. Yeah. All right, worst HOA train. This season, there was never any like absolute abysmal HOA trains, but there were a few that were a little questionable. You know, I will go into it. The worst HOA trains of Big Brother Blue Moon go to Clyde during Cycle 4 and Mo during Cycle 8. Clyde's whole HOA train during Cycle 4 was a power trip and a half of let's do a wheel, let's do this. It was crazy from start to finish. One of the most memorable we've seen, but also one of the messiest. It was absolute insanity. Mo during Cycle 8 was also an interesting case because I believe that's the cycle that Joshy went home. None of his targets went home, really.
Mm-hmm.
Joshy was meant to be a pawn and to be safe, and then obviously
that didn't work.
Vote flipped, and then Joshy was sent back instead of Brendan. And so that left Mo in a really vulnerable spot going forward and was evicted the following cycle after. So,
yeah.
Worst HOA trains.
All right, saddest eviction. So this one goes to someone who it was just like I wouldn't say like emotional, so to speak, but just like one that like was like relatively like caught off guard and we just didn't expect it, which then in turn like went with how sad it became because of the way that they were evicted. And I feel like a lot of people can predict this one as well. Once again, it's already been brought up before tonight. So the saddest eviction from Big Brother Big Blue Moon is Joshy. I was about to say Eclipse. That's a year ago. Nope.
Yeah. Joshy was the saddest eviction for me, as well as a lot of the other production, just because it was just like a big pain. I'm like, oh, this power getting rid of Joshy right now. No, because they were on a really good uphill trajectory. And then it just kind of went away, just in a fair swoop. So, saddest eviction went to Joshy. Hidden Gem. So Hidden Gem is an award given to a house guest that's game did not get as much praise as I think it deserved throughout the game, and someone who I think is just a really good character, a really good personality, someone really fun to host, and just overall a great player that may not have gotten the attention they deserved within the game from other house guests or whatever, viewers, what may be it. But the Hidden Gem for the season went to a house guest who I think really had a personality of their own. I'm muting someone right now. Brendan. All right, so Hidden Gem for the season is going to go to Joshy. Again, so Joshy really was a very interesting case of a house guest, very snarky, had a great personality, really was not able to show all they could do, however, had a really good fire and passion to their game, and they hit it off with the host, and not in like that kind of way, like they connected well with the host, and the host really had fun enjoying or hosting him. So yeah, that's our Hidden Gem. All right, the big awards. The big awards, the big five.
Yeah, it is five. All right, biggest clown. So this is, I forget if this is Nathan or Lainey's favorite award to give out. I forget whose it is, but it's one of y'all's favorite awards to give out. So this goes somewhat, okay, yes, Nathan. Yeah. I want to do this one actually because it is your favorite award.
No, I want to do the next one.
Okay, fine. Okay, so the biggest clown just goes to someone that was absolutely crazy throughout the season. Like, again, we've mentioned it plenty of times throughout the entire season, even tonight alone. Being, like, they were extremely active within the Space Hub, which we love that. We love the activity. Sometimes the activity wasn't what we expected, and it led to very interesting conversations to be had throughout the Space Hub. So, the biggest clown for Big Brother Blue Moon is Molly.
Biggest clown. I mean, not even in terms of like a gameplay clown, but just, I mean, actually,
personality-wise.
Yeah, personality and gameplay was a little clownish. Like, that girl was such a unique character because I've never seen a strategy quite like it. And quite frankly, I thought she was going to get out so much sooner than she did. But somehow she used this weird strategy, and it ended up getting her decently far within the game. Still pre-jury, but like a lot further than I thought. I mean, it's a truly one-of-a-kind clown gameplay, and it worked out for her. So, biggest clown. All right, biggest hero. I'm going to tackle this one. Biggest hero this is one of my favorite awards to give because I love watching a hero gameplay. There's something about it that's really endearing to me because it's all about loyalty and just being a genuine person, not doing a lot of backstabbing, if anything, front stabbing. And this house guest really just, I think, defines the biggest hero more so than any other house guest we've ever had before just because their whole story arc within the game was literally a hero, you know, from nothing to something to becoming, you know, this bigger than life kind of player. Something I've never seen before in a player, however, something I'm still very, very impressed with. This is truly the biggest hero of the season. The coveted biggest hero of Big Brother Blue Moon goes to Hannah. Hannah played one of the most impressive hero games, in my opinion. I think she absolutely defined what a hero was. You know, there was never any resentment or villainous things that she did, and her whole story arc was just encapsulated in this big heroic huzzah of being evicted, coming back, and making it to the final two, and beating the odds. So,
and on the flip side, we had the biggest villain. So this award is quite literally the exact opposite of the biggest hero, making plenty of backstabbing moves and moves that may at first seem like they're evil, but just they'll do anything to get what they want in the game. And this house guest almost did get everything that they wanted until the very end. And I feel like a lot of people will agree with us on this one. The biggest villain for Big Brother Blue Moon is Mikey.
You know, with such a young age, you'd be so surprised at how villainous Mikey's game really was. But with winning so much power within the season, Mikey...
8 competitions.
Yeah, 8 competitions, almost the most we've ever had in a single season. Like, his prowess to just stab people and make moves and betray and use people, it was a whole other level of just villainous. So congratulations, Mikey, a villain, joining the elites of the worst players to ever play.
Well, you say that, but we've also had Nick, who is also the biggest hero at the same time.
Right. All right, hosts' favorites. This is a fun award. You get this award if I or the production team loved hosting you. Obviously, Nick and Lainey aren't here, but Ellie and I can explain our hosts' favorites. All right, so we have, for the very first time, 4 different house guests getting host favorite from all different hosts. But we'll go into depth about who won what. All right, those are our host favorites. Mine was Austin. Ellie?
I chose Brendan as mine.
Thank you.
Mine was a very tough decision because I guess I have like a runner-up for this. For quite a while, I was debating between Brendan and Hannah for mine, which are really the final 2. But I did go with Brendan on this one.
Yeah. For me, this was a really, really hard one. I think a lot of people expected me to do Rocky. In my heart, I love Rocky to death. I know. Truly,
I love Rocky.
We knew.
However, I know.
You told us when you were drunk and you were like, don't listen to me when you're drunk. And I was like, oh, we'll see that on finale night.
Shut up.
No.
I loved watching Austin play. There was something about the way he played, and again, with the emotional side to him. I was rooting for Austin more so than any other house guest. Don't leak that. But like, he was just truly such a one-of-a-kind type of player I've had before. I've wanted to host him in the past, last season, and I'm really glad I got to see him. And he was amazing to host. I loved being his little mentor this season. He would always get on the diary room calls, and I'd be there and be like, "How we doing, Austin? All right, what are we gonna do with your game today?" It was really fun. So loved having Austin. All right, there we go. Oh shit! I thought you already did. Go ahead.
No.
Go explain. Why do you love Brendan? Why do you love Brendan?
Okay. So for the most part, for the beginning, I want to say for the majority of the first half or 2/3 of the season, I was almost dead set on putting Hannah because I absolutely loved hosting Hannah throughout the entire time. She was like super bubbly, which I love a bubbly personality, and also you're moving here to my city next month. But towards the later stages of the game, I really saw Brendan come into his own, and that's something that I always appreciate in a house guest, and just seeing his passion and drive for the game and his appreciation for just everything that we do. It's something I just love hearing that with like when someone just brings this passion for the game and is like so into it, and that's just what tipped me over the edge to Brenda's my favorite.
Yeah, period. All right, moving on to the final 2 awards.
Thank you. You probably predicted the winner too.
You will see.
All right, fan favorite. One of the most coveted awards you could get for the night. And our top 3 vote getters for fan favorite Hannah, Laura, and Mikey were the top 3 vote getters within the fan favorite poll. However, after breaking a record of the most votes we've ever received for fan favorite, with I think nearly over 55, the fan favorite of Big Brother Blue Moon, shocker, it's Laura. Laura is the season's fan favorite. Good job, Laura. The fans love you, and the feeling's mutual.
Honestly, not surprised that she won. She had quite a few stands throughout the game.
Oh, God, yeah. All right, and here we go. This is the big moment. This is, the most coveted award you can receive of the night. I do want to first clarify that neither of the final 2 are eligible for this award, as they are finalists. However, anyone else is eligible for the star player. Star player is someone who really, really just ate this game up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner through strategy, sociability, what they did with their competition wins. They defined the best of the season. So the star player nominees for Big Brother Blue Moon are Avery, Laura, and Mikey. Each 3 of these house guests played absolutely superb games. In fact, I mean, all of them made final 5 if you disclude the finalists. So they all got to final 5 for a reason. They played one hell of a strong game, used different methods to get there, however, almost using each other in the same swoop. However, there's only one house guest that stood above the rest on all categories. That means that this season's star player, the best player of the season, is, drumroll please. All right, star player of Big Brother Blue Moon is Mikey. Mikey played one of the strongest games I think I have ever seen. No other house guest this season took as much strategic strength, competition prowess, sociability from day 1 to the end. Mikey truly defined what it was to be a fantastic player. Although they had a lot of critiques within the jury, if people really saw the in-depths of what Mikey did during his time in the game, I think they'd be genuinely amazed by a lot of the strategic moves and abilities that Mikey was able to possess. And at 15 years old, it was hella impressive. I've never seen someone quite like Mikey with such a young age have that much smarts on how to maneuver a game. It was truly breathtaking from start to finish, winning biggest villain, biggest snake. Sometimes that works for you, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it worked incredibly for Mikey, just coming up short of the final 2. So congratulations, Mikey. You are the star player of Season 7 Blue Moon.
And also not being a final nominee until final 3. That is impressive. And the only other time being nominated was at Cycle 6A.
Yeah.
And then competition streak.
Yes. All right. But without further ado, it is now time to reveal the winner of the season. It is time to see who will become the next winner of Big Brother Universe. Hannah, Brendan, best of luck to you both. You both played phenomenal. I really loved having this final 2. You were incredible to host from start to finish. Your passions for this game were, unmatched. And so no matter what happens, you should both be extremely, extremely proud of yourselves. And I'm so glad that this is the final 2. Even though we had a lot of great players, this has been a very interesting final 2. So best of luck. We'll go back and forth, me and Ellie. I will begin. So, Devin has voted for Hannah to be the winner of Big Brother Blue Moon.
Oh, I guess AJ has also voted for Hannah to win Big Brother Blue Moon. I'm not sure why the animation didn't work. Let me go through and make sure.
Yeah, go through it real quick. Let's make it dramatic. Make sure it works. Give me the...
keep going.
All right. So that's 2 votes Hannah, 0 votes Brendan. Joshi has voted for Hannah to be the winner of Big Brother Blue Moon. That is now 3 votes Hannah, 0 votes Brendan.
Right. Mo has voted for Brendan to win Big Brother Blue Moon. That means it's 3 votes Hannah, 1 vote Brendan.
Austin has voted for Brendan to be the winner of Big Brother Blue Moon. We are now 3 votes Hannah, 2 votes, Brendan. Oh.
No, again, okay, once again, Juju has voted for Brendan to win Big Brother Blue Moon. I don't know why it's not working. It means we are at a tie. 3 votes for Hannah, 3 votes for Brendan.
All right. Avery has voted for Brendan to be the winner of Big Brother Blue Moon. We are now 4 votes Brendan, 3 votes Hannah. Brendan needs 1 more vote to win.
I hope that, here we go. Laura has voted for Brendan, which means congratulations, Brendan. You are the winner of Big Brother Blue Moon.
There you go. Congratulations, Brendan.
Do we know who Mikey voted for?
Mikey voted for Brendan.
Cool.
See, there it goes. Mikey's voted for you. So 6-3 vote. Congratulations, Brendan. You are the winner.
Congrats.
Thank you. When it was all Hannah, I was expecting to
speech.
I feel like in a lot of my speeches before the votes, I didn't really get to thank a lot of people. I was focused a lot on trying to prove my strategy. I feel like a lot of my play did have to go to Mo. I think Mo, especially in the early game, was somebody who established me in the game and created a lot of alliances for me. There was not really an alliance where I wasn't involved with Mo. And it helped protect me and get me to where I am. And so I just want to make sure that was happening. I felt really bad for Asa and Mikey both times I blew up, even though they were really good strategic plays for the most part, arguably. But I was trying to just make a game. And if I hurt you guys in any way, I'm so sorry. I felt shitty about having to do what I did. This is a great opportunity. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just overwhelmed.
All right. Well,
tongue in the picture makes it all the much better.
All right. Well, that wraps up Big Brother Blue Moon. Congratulations, Brendan. Congratulations, Hannah. You as well. You played phenomenal.
Thank you.
Very worthy of the winner as well. But
Unfortunately,
other than that, this season is now finished. We are done. You have survived. You are leaving the Space Hub, going back to Earth, aka the viewing party, where you'll meet back with all your fellow jurors and pre-jurors and friends. You know, I'm really happy that this season is not over. I'm happy that this season happened. Smile because it happened. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for next season because it will be premiering the next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.